back to the SML podcast. This is the Playing the Field with Field Room 007 edition. We're actually kind of going back old school here. We've got a special guest in the studio today. It's from Prime's Corner, Primetime 000. Prime, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
We're doing good. Prime, first I guess we got to talk about the different direction that you decided to take the podcast, the way that it's kind of shaped up, where we basically have three different shows. Meats runs his, the SML Tonight, or
Yeah, something like that.
and then you've got Prime's Corner, and I've got Playing the Field. So what exactly was your goal with bringing the podcast to iTunes and or SoundCloud, or was that more of Meats with the SoundCloud?
I took it to SoundCloud because you have to get it on SoundCloud to put it on iTunes, really. That's just the simplest way to put it. And the reason behind that was just to have us on more social media sites, obviously. I don't know, just kind of expand the name, more places to find us.
Okay. So let's talk about your season so far. Obviously last season, did you go 16-0 last season? No, you didn't.
No.
I know you made it to the Super Bowl and it's back-to-back Super Bowl losses. Right now you're sitting at 8-0. What does it take to be able to bounce back from that Super Bowl loss, or I guess two of them, and still be able to bang out 8 wins, 8-0, have the number one offense in the league, and a top 5 defense in the league?
Yeah, the first Super Bowl loss wasn't fun, but the second one in a row, that one kind of just pisses you off. So at that point, then it's time to just play angry, time to play 4 quarters, or and just do your best to try to seal out games. No more second half meltdowns, and that's been the goal of the season. And so far, we've achieved that goal, but we still got half a season to improve upon.
Okay, so now I'm going to throw this out there. I've thrown this out there a few times throughout my podcast this season. Are the Colts holding back at all? With the exception of one game, the Titans 19-14, the Colts put up big numbers against everyone. 56-7 against the Cowboys, 40-21 against the Texans, 59-7 against the Giants, 38-7 against New England. For myself, 34-15 against the Texans, 24-10 against the Redskins, 43-24 against the Steelers. Are the Colts pulling their punches? I mean, I know I saw you step out on a pick 6, and some of the games, it felt like you probably could have put up more points had you not started running the clock, or not running the clock, but trying to shorten the game, and by running the ball and not really playing your usual offense. Could you put up larger scores?
On some of the games, maybe, but if the game's out of reach late in the game, we're not gonna. A win's a win. We're just gonna walk out with that. What's the difference in 59-7 or 66-7? Not much of a difference as long as you get the win, and nobody's gonna remember it a week from now.
All right, so I guess that'd be a yes to that question. I'm just going to say it was a yes. Week 9, we got an interesting matchup here. Colts at Denver against the Broncos. The Broncos were on auto for a while this season. They're now 3-4, still holding there at the division. I mean, they still got a chance to win it. And the Broncos have given you some issues in the past. He kind of plays a similar style defense to you. Really good user in the linebacker. And are you going to be able to beat the Broncos here in Week 9?
Yeah, we're going to beat Denver. Not too afraid of them. We're going to go into Denver. We're going to get a win.
All right, so the rest of your schedule, Week 11 through Week 17, you got the Jaguars at Philadelphia, at home against the Raiders, at San Diego, at Jacksonville, and then at home against KC and Tennessee. Are the Colts going to go 16-0 this year?
Probably not. Philadelphia, Oakland, obviously the Chargers, and even the Titans are all good guys who have given me a run for my money. Jaguars is due for a win against me as well, So there's a lot of guys in that back half of the schedule that can knock me down,
So you're averaging 39 points a game. Can you get that up to a 40-burger before we're done?
We're gonna try it. Like I said, we're playing Denver. Me and him, we do some trash talking back and forth. So we're gonna try to put up 40 on them. Whatever I said earlier about not trying to score a lot, we're going to try to score a lot this game.
All right, then. If you look at the rest of the AFC playoff race, you got the Dolphins, Colts, the only undefeated teams left. And then you got the Ravens. The AFC West could go any one of the 4 teams at this point. And then the Titans, the Bengals. I'm not even in the playoff picture, not even with the wild card at this point in time. And really, it should be the Bengals with the North and the Ravens sitting there at the wild card. What's been the biggest surprise so far out of the AFC playoff picture, do you think?
I'd say biggest surprise. Can't really say Miami at 7-0 because they've always been good.
There's no real surprises
No
there
real
outside of the fact
surprises.
that there's not a clear-cut winner.
You kind of expect Denver to be doing a little bit better than what they are, but I think you said they've missed a few games earlier this season, so that could be why. But once again, Oakland's not a bad player either. So
I'm going to tell you what the biggest surprise is. Look at the NFC. All right, the Panthers are no longer in play. That whole dynasty and everything else is now a thing of the past. We're moving on, and so is the NFC. 7-1 Atlanta, 6-1 Dallas, the Bears at 5-2, the Cardinals at 5-2, Eagles at 5-2, and lo and behold, the Buccaneers are 5-3.
well, even when you look down at the
And then you start looking at some guys at the bubble.
Yeah.
The 49ers 5-2, Detroit Fuzzy 5-2.
Yeah.
So let's go through who's going to win the NFC South this year.
Falcons probably. They got the new Panthers owner, but Lawyer Killer's been here. I think he won the NFC South last year.
He did.
So he's already got a 2-game lead. It's 8 games left. Hasn't really shown any signs of weakness. I'm going to say Atlanta.
All right, so the NFC North, I was talking up the Bears for the last 3 or 4 episodes that I've done. Then I played Fuzzy. Fuzzy's once again beat me. I'm 0-2 against Fuzzy in a real heartbreaker. And then Fuzzy, I checked in on the stream of this Bears-Lions game just for a second. I saw the Bears were up 10-3. I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed. Bears won. And then come to find out, I guess there's some crazy things having some blocked field goals. And Fuzzy won the game against the hottest team in the SML right now.
Yeah, I kind of first said
the
that.
Chicago Bears. So who's winning the NFC North?
I'm going to say, look, I talked to the Bears in the Prime's Corner podcast. If you haven't listened to that already, check it out.
Link in the description below.
Yeah, probably not. But I'm going to say, like the Bears guy, but look, Lions has been there, done that in the NFC North. I'm going to say the Lions are going to win by 1 game.
You're taking the Lions.
Yeah.
All right, NFC West. Interesting division. You got King Koopa, who was with us last season. He was in the NFC West.
Right.
He was the 49ers last cycle,
Yeah.
And now he came back this cycle. He came back as the Jets, I believe.
Yeah.
And then this season he switched over to the Cardinals. He's 5-2. We got a new 49ers guy. He won a game. He won his first game. Beat the Raiders by a point. And then you got, I think his name's Navi. He's been with us before. We kind of have some history with the Seahawks. They're 3-4. So you're gonna have a close race here between the Cardinals and 49ers. I know more about the Cardinals.
Well, I was going to say, looking just at the list of guys, you got some teams in and out. I'm going to go with Mr. October, Arizona Cardinals. And I think, like you said, right now they're tied up with the Niners, so that'll be interesting to see. But you got to go with what you know.
All right, so if you look at the last team in the SML or even in the NFC East, the last division, the Cowboys, Eagles, Redskins, Giants. The Redskins and Giants are the SML bottom feeders right now at 1-6.
Wow.
The
Interesting.
Eagles and Cowboys are duking it out 6-1 and 5-2. The Eagles lost to the Bears, and I don't remember who else, and I don't know who the Cowboys lost to.
Eagles just lost to the Falcons, I think.
So they've lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, I think so. I think they had a bye week.
Oh, wow. So who you take in the NFC East, the Cowboys or the Eagles?
Well, I'm going to have to go with Dallas, actually.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I've seen, I think I got to stick with the Eagles. I just feel like he's a little bit better player than the Cowboys are. The Cowboys win a lot of games. They run the ball and play good defense, but the Eagles kind of have almost that it factor where they can drop 40 or 50 points on someone.
The thing is with Dallas, the opening game of the season, they played me, and they lost by 40 points.
Oh, that's right. It was you.
And they bounced back and won 6 in a row. I mean, after that, it's just been, they lost by 49 points. And after that, they've been winning their games. Whereas, not only has the Eagles played his 2 tough opponents and lost this season, and he was my Super Bowl pick going into the year, don't get me wrong, big fan of the Eagles, but he's still got a big Week 12 matchup against Indianapolis. And last time we have played, though, he did beat me. So that game's a circled matchup for me.
So let's talk about that
Yeah.
circle matchup then. What's it going to take to beat the Eagles? What have you seen, and possibly what can these two Week 6 and Week 7 losses that the Eagles have, or excuse me, the Week 6 and Week 8. So he had a split there. He did win a game in between.
El Scrubbo.
What's it going to take to beat the Eagles?
Looks like actually didn't watch the games, but it looks like just the quarterback just don't turn over the ball. Obviously, looks like the Bears had a lot of success passing the ball, 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. So Andrew Luck might be feasting on that Eagles defense. I think he's got Richard Sherman back there at safety, around 80 speed. So maybe throw a few long bombs over the top, stretch him out.
Maybe we need to go and talk to the Falcons, because really that was the game that was the larger discrepancy, 34-7.
Big Ben.
Carson Wentz, 2 of 10, 19 yards, 4 interceptions. That is a crap game.
Wow.
I mean,
that's interesting.
And then you look, Big Raplesberger goes in there. Not a great game, but still it was serviceable. 10 of 13, 176, 2 touchdowns and a pick, and then almost 100 yards on the ground rushing with Sloan. You've got a new running back this season.
Yeah.
I think you went to a young rookie
power
back, trying to get back to last cycle with that Nate Finley action. So what changes from an offensive standpoint when you got a guy that you're leaning on opposed to running by committee or just run out of necessity?
The thing is, when we won our first 3 Super Bowls this cycle, we had our most success in the playoffs when we inserted LeGarrette Blount as running back. We sat him throughout the season, all 3 seasons, and then come playoff time he played, and then we won the Super Bowl. Then he retired or something, or he just got slow and we let him walk. And then, we signed Melvin Gordon, who's been serviceable, but we've lost our last 2 Super Bowls. So we wanted to get back to just halfback dives, get 4 yards. We don't believe we need to have a 2,000-yard rusher to win games. We just need the guy who can get the yards when we need them and not get stood up at the line of scrimmage. Somebody who can lean forward. And that's just the game plan. Some guys go for the scat backs who can outrun you or juke you out of your shoes. And here in Indianapolis, we just want a guy who can fall forward.
All right, then. So the Colts have made some claims this podcast. They've guaranteed a win against their,
did we? Yeah,
basically against the Broncos.
Yeah, I guess we did.
And so you made some Super Bowl predictions earlier in the season. What's your Super Bowl prediction for this season?
I'm gonna say the Lions. Bold prediction: Lions in the Super Bowl against the Dolphins.
All right. Well, I'm going to be more realistic here. I'm going to say the Colts in the Super Bowl. I'm still going to go with
It's either the Falcons
I'm
or
going
the Lions, I think.
Yeah, but you got to pick one team. So I'm going Colts, Falcons.
That's Super Bowl
the
rematch.
Eagles have dropped some games. I think they've shown maybe that they're not quite as indestructible as we may have thought.
Well, we've been waiting for Philadelphia for the past few seasons just to assert themselves as an elite team, to be that team who's 13-3, 14-2 each year, and they haven't quite done that. Whereas in the AFC, we've been kind of overlooking a team like Miami, and maybe Miami is now the team that is becoming the team that we thought Philadelphia would become.
Well, Miami's definitely a tough team, good defense, and they just kind of take their time on offense. They kind of play that almost a safe game plan. They like hitting post routes, and he's good at doing it. And obviously, he likes to run the ball. If he gets that the running game going, then it's really hard to get him stopped. But I still don't think, like I said before a few episodes, you have your elite group, which is one player. You got Prime, and then you got your good/great players. I'll just call us good players, which is 90% of the rest of the league, and then you got that final third of guys that are needs improvement. But so right now the Colts are the only elite team. You've got more Super Bowl appearances than anybody, so I'm still gonna predict the Colts will win the SML Super Bowl. They finally get the Simbardi Trophy back in Indianapolis after 2 devastating losses, including Adam Vinatieri, I believe, was wide left.
Yeah, wide left.
That was unexpected.
Look, we're going to try to bounce back from it. Still not quite over it yet, but all you can do is look forward, so we'll see.
One last point to talk about, I guess. I just thought of this when I brought up Adam Vinatieri. The ice the kicker feature's got to be the most inconsistent feature there is. I mean, I had, I believe it was against the Lions, where I tried to use it and it didn't work again. I mean, it just seems like half the time you try to use it and it follows or falls under the parameters and it doesn't work.
Right.
I don't understand that at all. But that's just kind of food for thought. Comment below what your experiences are with the Ice the Kicker feature. And be sure to go ahead and check out that last video. I'll throw up a card. I'll go back and find where Prime and I were talking about the SoundCloud interview. And we'll throw a card up. We'll throw links in the description. Be sure to follow that. That way you can watch the shows with Prime and Meets, the different interviews. And be sure to stay tuned. I'm going to have an interview with Gramazins very soon. Be sure to like, subscribe, take care, and have a great day.